to this month. Last month, we talked about how the devil keeps you broke for our lesson plan. We'll go over this again real quick. Spending more than you can afford, he makes you do. Unexpected problems after you get paid. Financial abuser, someone he'll put in your life to drain your money. Matter of fact, I got a manager, an old manager, that got married into $200,000 in debt after they got married, he told her. The debt crisis, wrong financial decisions, the devourer, that's with the church tithing, remember? And the government. Today, this next month here, we're going to talk about secular music. What I'm going to do is add to the studio. By the way, this studio has been a blessing for you guys. It's been a blessing for me, for everybody. I'm not doing this for me or you, I'm doing it for him. I'm going to come back every year to do more shows. But in between now until next year, I'm going to do segments, 10-minute segments to get you outdoor with your morning coffee, to start your day, to begin your day. And it started with my phone ministry. I have a phone ministry that's been for eons with a phone list that's horrendous. I even have kids on there that are satanic. But nobody on my phone list is telling me to quit. The messages I send to them, I didn't even graduate high school, is wisdom not from me. I just grab my phone, I go to town, I send it. 6 a.m., 12 noon, and at night for everybody. And it's been a blessing for everyone. So I'm thankful for my phone list that they are still listening, still reading the messages. So anyways, getting back about this, we're going to talk about secular music today. Like I said, in between here until next year, when I come back, I'm going to go over this about 10 minutes a day to get you out the door for your morning coffee, to get you going for your day. So today we're going to talk about secular music. Number one is music has incredible power. Just a few notes controls the seat of your emotions, which is your soul. You can go from sadness to happy to sad, depending what the song is. Oh, I remember that song since high school. It makes me so happy. Or I remember that song that was during my divorce. See? Music has incredible power. Number two, music affects the soul, like I just said. No music leaves you neutral. Music leaves you sad, hyperactive, happy, energized, and influenced. The big one is influence. Satan used music to make agreements with music stars to control the masses. Some examples are what happens there is when these stars, like rap stars, will realize that they're doing wrong, that they're pointing the people in the wrong direction, they want to get out of it. What happens then? The devil has untimely deaths or rack up court cases where they're thrown into prison. You can relate to that. Tupac Shakur is one of them. He realized he was doing wrong. All of a sudden, he got shot. Another one was John Lennon. He got shot. Untimely death. Satan dispatches evil spirits that accompany sound waves. Demons will travel through sound waves. The next one is music works as prayers. What do you do with the lyrics? You recite them, right? What do you do with prayers? You recite prayers. Repeating lyrics, recite prayers through the confessions of the soul. Bad relationships fuels experience misfortunes. Glorifying violence equals angry more often. It controls the soul. Spirits travel through the sound waves, like I just said. The next one, you cannot be on fire for God listening to secular music. You can't be on fire to God talking about drink, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Many of the biggest pop stars hopefully admit that they did not write their own music. They had company. Remember, I just told you, when you sin, you're not alone. Demonic spirits are true inspirations behind many secular songs. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, rap, on and on and on. I'm not cutting it down, I'm just teaching you. I don't have anything against anybody. John Lennon publicly stated his lyrics were written through him by someone or something else. The rapper DMX said he could literally feel an evil presence that takes over his mind and body writing lyrics, through visions, dreams, and hallucinations, controlled by outside force when performing. They're not alone on that stage. You can't see them. Drugs and Ouija boards are prevalent, trying to tap into the demonic power to boost their creativity and success. It's unbelievable. Many artists struggle with addiction and mental health issues when they want to get out of it. Satan promises fame and fortune in exchange for influencing the masses. Katy Perry said she sold her soul to the devil. Said it. Satan's ultimate weapon is the deception of trapping these artists. The artist realizes that he is causing spiritual damage, get out, and then an untimely death. That's pretty much what the Sucky Loser music rundown. It's all in here. This is the weapon. My 10-minute morning of intros to get you out the door with your morning coffee. We're going to go over this. Well, relating to music, I found a few things here. I got so many. Let's talk about my flip phone. I got a couple stories on this, right? Remember in my first video, my flip phone broke. You want to know why it broke? I didn't tell you that. My dad made it to heaven. When I woke up the morning after he died, my phone was snapped in two. Wasn't really snapped in two, but it was broke. It was barely hanging on with the wire. So I went to Target to get another flip phone. They didn't have flip phones. So I got sent to another Target because I had consumer cellular. They had the store inside the store. I went to another store. They had no flip phones. So outside, almost going outside by the register, there was a wastebasket there. And when I threw my phone, as soon as it left my hand into that wastebasket, I felt unplugged from the world. I felt freedom come over me immensely. It was an awesome feeling. I'm driving in my van going home without a phone. What if I would have broke down? I wasn't even worried about it. I was unplugged from the world. There was such a joy. But at the time, I had a divorce going on. I had split custody. I had to get a phone, because of my daughter and other reasons. But the feeling was immense. That's in my first movie video. Check it out. I was so happy that day. Smartphones. If you got a smartphone or iPhone, Romans 1:25. What's that talk about? Talks about the creature. They rather worship the creature than the creator. What is the creature? The creature, in my opinion, is the smartphone or the iPhone. Because what are you doing to it? You're worshiping it. You're bowing your head to it. That's adultery. So anyways, with your iPhone or your smartphone, what is it this day and age you can do with it? Your debit and credit card are on it, right? This is from my first video, the first movie I did. Remember? You're paying everything with your smartphone flip phone. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, there's proof that this is you're addicted. You're looking at your phone all the time. The little Lord spoken by Daniel, chapter 7, I believe, as I talked about last time, is going to walk over to the world stage of smartphone service. And he's going to yank the plug. The first time I talked about this with a prayer group I was with, where was about 30 of us. We went in each other's homes. It just came over me to talk about this, to blurt that out. He's going to yank the plug. Around the world, everyone's smartphone and iPhone's going to go black. First initial panic is everyone's going to lose their addiction. Their phone ain't working no more. They can't do this on the bus, in the cars, at their office, at home. No more flip phone. You're paying everything with your phone this day and age. He's going to go over to the world and say, oh, your family's starving. You want to keep a roof over your head. You want to keep gas in your car to keep your job. Here's my mark. It's in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 18. Check it out. It's written. I don't think this is going to happen. I think it's going to happen after we're out of here. Jesus comes, takes us to heaven. I don't know. If I was you, I would turn to Jesus now, because that can happen anytime. There was proof of this. The same week my dad died, about the same week. In 2021, 3 remarkable things happened. This is in my first video. Just give me a reminder. Check it out. My dad died, but he made it to heaven. My mom says when he died, I wasn't there because I knew he made it. His eyes were partially open, and his eyes had the brilliance, brightness, like he was looking at something very light. He was seeing God's glory for the first time. It is real. He is real. There's your proof. Very powerful. The second thing that happened about the same week, the Lord directed my steps to a retired minister at a Taco Bell. His name was Michael. 2021. His ministry was about the rapture. I was naive about the rapture. I didn't really know much about the rapture. The rapture is in my heart, when the Lord himself is going to come down from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel and the trumpet of God. And the dead in Christ are going to rise first out of their graves to meet the Lord in the air. Then me and you are still alive right now, for real, this day, this minute. This is good news for us. We're going to join the Lord with the Lord, be with the Lord forever. But Michael was keen on history. He started out like this: after World War II ended and the Holocaust ended. By the way, why would God exterminate 6 million Jews, allow that to happen, by the Nazis in World War II? One of the reasons, back then, probably before the war broke out, the Jews were ripping the name Jesus Christ out of their books. He's big on his son. He sent his son here to die for us. I just taught you last month about the crucifix, how he suffered, suffocate, broken legs. So Michael was keen again on history. After World War II ended and the Holocaust ended, all the Israelis that the Father scattered all over the world, because they were doing this to their books, congregated back to Israel on May 14th, 1948. That birthed the nation of Israel. Moses, thousands of years ago, wrote about the rapture in Psalm 90, verse 10. Moses wrote, "The days of our lives are 70 years, or if reasoned by strength, 80 years. Yet their boast is nothing but labor or sorrow, which is us. For it's soon cut off and we fly away." That's the rapture, written thousands of years ago. So May 14th, 1948, right? If you take the year 1948 and you add 70 years to it, it's 2018. Oh, Michael, the year 2018, tell me more. You're giving me chills. If you take the year 1948 and you add 80 years to it, 2028 coming, 25 now, it's going to be 26 next month. Couple more years. But Michael stressed throughout our talk for an hour and a half. I was glued with this guy. Jesus said he did not know when this is going to go down. The rapture does not know when the angels in heaven do not know when this is going to go down. Only the Father knows when the rapture is going to go down. We are on borrowed hinge time with the Father. Now, if 28 comes and goes, here's where you come in. The rapture doesn't happen by 28. That's because the Father is using people like us that don't have a physical church around the world to gather more and more of his flock. When the Father is satisfied with that amount of souls in his bosom, satisfied with that number, with that quota, he's going to look at Jesus at his right hand and say, "Jesus, now go get your bride, which is us." It can happen right now. You've got to stop sinning. Whatever the sin is. He died to eliminate the sin. You can't keep doing it. You can't sit there and keep going to God, going to church, and remain in sin. You can't wear a cross around your neck and be in sin. Doesn't mix. So there's a lot of the talk I talked about how to get rid of your money issues. Remember my electric bill, $3.52. Want to know why that happened? If you want all your problems to go away, I wake up every morning with a blank mind. I don't have worry, doubts, or fears. Serve it. On your way home from work, just out driving around, do not pass them up. If you see someone that's pushing a shopping cart, someone with a backpack, someone you look over there holding a cardboard sign, go to them and give them a bottle of water. They will. What's really amazing, give them a bottle of water. You want to know how I started out on the streets? I put a case of bottled water in my back seat and forgot it was there. And when the person was holding the cardboard sign right here, wait for the light to change, I hand them a bottle of water. They would rejoice over that water more than money. You want to know why? Because if they lose that spot to go get their own water, somebody else will take over that spot. A majority of them on the streets are not in the drugs. The ones that are on drugs are in their little groups. But the loners, guess who they are? I could put money on it. It's in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2. It says, "Be kind to strangers, because you never know if you're administering an angel." Remember my last video? I met, not intention. It was at a church. Check out my first video. I met one and was sent to me to test my generosity. I've always been generous ever since. It taught me a lesson. There was proof of that. With the woman with the goosebumps, watch my first video. All of that was proven. In my first video, nothing was added, nothing was made up. It was all hardcore truth like it was right now today. Here. Right here it says, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by so doing, some have unwittingly entertained angels." The ones that are out there by themselves, that's a good bet. If you pass them up, you're making him sad. Like I told you, the ones that are in their groups, they're probably doing fentanyl or some drug or whatever, they hang together. But the ones that are all by themselves, no matter who it is, serve them. The more you serve him, he takes away everything. I had a disease that was going to kill me. I have been to the dentist for over 20 years. Doctor, I don't need it. You want to talk about the doctor? I've been holding out on this. Only a few people know about this. 3 hours into the new year, I was up serving, looking for tears at Old Town Scottsdale. It's the bar circuit. It is hell on earth there. And a voice came into me and said, Gary, why don't you go down to South Phoenix like you do? Van Buren is in my blood. I love it down there. So we go down there and there's nobody. This is New Year's Day. And just nobody down there anywhere. No homeless, no prostitutes, nobody. I got lied to. There's a spot down there I could park when I had my van. I said had when we get to that. So I go down there and it's about 3 a.m. and I told him my flesh is tired. I got to park and take a break. I hadn't had my bed in the back of the van when we get to that. So I went down there and all of a sudden I got to the spot where I was going to park and a voice said, go around the block, see if you could find somebody. And I did. There was nobody. That was lie number 2. Lie number 2. It was a setup. So when I came back to the original street where I was going to park, down the road there was a car with its headlights on where I was going to park. Serving the streets almost 5 years, I'm untouched. I wasn't worried about it. And my job, my claim was I was going to turn around on the street and park behind him and go to bed. 3 a.m. So there's nobody around at 3 a.m. No traffic or nothing. Remember the video from the first clip last month? It happened again. As soon as I turned around in the street, I had a flood of cars coming at me and I had a head-on collision that I walked from. Untouched. I don't have my van no more. The band that I had for years and years, it was an 06 Town and Country. Used to be my dad's. Terrence gave it to me in his car. I never had van problems with the motor or nothing. It ran and ran and ran. All I did was change the oil. I never had problems. The more you do for him, the more he's going to give you. You won't have any problems anymore. So I had a head-on collision, right? 3 a.m. We're waiting for the cops to come. It took forever. So I'm on the curb looking at my van. The whole front end of that van, the motor part, was completely gone. It was like nothing. You can tell the front end of it, nothing. But the compartment where I was driving, I remember I was spinning around in the street, getting struck by these cars. All I did was open the driver's door and walk out of it. The Holy Spirit kept me calm throughout that whole fiasco. Getting hit by a car 3 days ago, I was calm when I hit the ground. I'm covered up now with some makeup, but I have a black eye out of it, and that's all I got from. I wasn't even hurt when that lady hit me. Well, I'll tell you, explain that right now. So 3 days ago, I've been on the streets without a van, without a house for a year now. It's been phenomenal. So the walk sign went. I started to proceed with my bag in this car. I didn't see it hardly. Came, and when it came, it hit the gas and hit me. And I rolled over, if you see in the footage, I rolled over the top of the hood and landed on my head. This is where I braced, but it was such force that gave me a black eye. As soon as I landed on the ground, I sprung up and the car took off. It was a hit and run. Now, let's talk about forgiveness. They caught the person down the road. The cops did. It was quick, I guess. But anyways, it was a 90-year-old woman just leaving church. I forgave on the scene. I said, don't you dare charge her. He knew I was going to do this. He trusts me. He wants to trust you. Don't you dare charge her with this. Let it go. I talked to her on the phone. She's very thankful. I said, don't be thankful for me. Thankful for him. She got 3 citations with the deal. 90-year-old woman. On December 26, 2025, I already told her on the phone, I'm going to be with you in court and have my tickets dismissed. So it's forgotten already. I met a new friend, the Hardley. All my life, I've had my life threatened. First was HIV. I was a dead man. Head-on collision. Now I'm struck with a car. 3 days ago, I'm still standing, still talking. Thankful because of Jesus. He'll do the same for you. So I tack on some of these stories I can tell you, I'll share with you. Let me see. The abscess, let's talk about the dentist again. Remember here? That's not supposed to be falling out till after I'm dead. The only tooth that did. Let's talk about the abscess tooth from my first movie. The studio did magic with it, didn't they? I'm thankful for that. Abscess tooth, I dug into it. It doesn't go away on its own, right? It gets in the bloodstream. It either hits the brain and heart or gives you pneumonia and you're dead, right? So I went to a dentist. There was immense pain. They said I need to see a specialist. I couldn't afford the copay. It was $150. I only had half of it. 6 months later, I went to a checkup because the pain disappeared a couple days later. I don't have it. He'll do the same for you. So anyways, we're heading for this month and going to next month. Last month we talked about how the devil keeps you broke. This month we talk about secular music. We're going to do 10-minute segments every morning for you guys. You check in while you're getting ready for work, your coffee. We're going to go over this whole thing. Ain't got time today. But next month we're going to talk about anointed music. So secular music and anointed music is the opposite. So change your lives by stop sinning and serving Him, and you will have zero problems. Because I'm still standing and talking to you 3 days ago from being plowed over by a car. So I will talk to you, and thank you for subscribing and joining with us so I can teach you more. This is not a preaching, it's a teaching. I'll talk to you next month. Thank you for listening and watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.